Okay, I'm going to do a video here on how to change the knives on your planer. This happens to be an old 15-inch planer, but the process is the same, whether it's a planer or joiner actually. So, all right, let's get into this here. I'll just show you how to do one. They're all the same one. This one has 3 knives. You can see here, I think, how these are pretty chipped up. They need to be changed. So first step is you take these bolts here that hold it in and loosen them. So you have this stay here that as you tighten these bolts down or actually back them off, it pushes up against this side, then pushes up against the blade. So I've already loosened these just so it'll go faster here for the video. But so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these on here. I've loosened them all. And I'm gonna use and as you can see here, here's the blade right here. You see how I can push it down and it comes back up. There's springs underneath there. So you wanna be careful that you don't lose those. Those springs need to remain there. So I just use a magnet here, pull the blade out. And then we also can pull out the stay here. Then I'll just go ahead and screw all these in all the way so it makes it easier to put the new one in. I'm gonna clean this out, just kind of blow it out. And then I don't know if you can see from there, and I don't want to move the camera, but anyway, there's a spring right here, there's a spring right here. There's a little hole with a spring in there. They'll stay in there. If you need to pull them out or if they're missing and you need to replace them, needle nose pliers will do it. Okay, so then after you get that out, get your blade out, screw these in so that you can get it in there, and just stick that back in there, center it up on your cutting head here, best you can. Then you take your new blade. Now, as you can see here, this blade is thinner. Well, it's not, the thickness is the same, but it's not as wide. The angle is the same. That's important too. You want to make sure you're at the right angle. This one happens to be 45 degrees. Your manual will tell you that. So slide this back in here like this. Now you see how it sits down further because it's not as thick, like I said, but that's okay. And I'll show you why. You can still see though that these springs are in place and working. That allows them to go up and down. Now I want to bring those up to the same height that the blades were that I took out. They make a great little tool for this. This is what it looks like. Magnet, magnet, and then a magnet in the middle. So before I started, what I did is took this, put it on the cutting head, and I set it, the center piece goes up and down. This part here, you screw up and down to the right height that you want. And what I did is I screwed it down just so it was touching the tops of the blades. And as you can see, as I put this in here, that magnet in the middle pulls that blade right up. So the blade, let's see if I can get some more light on that. Not sure if you can see it, but trust me, it's there. The blade pulls up, or the magnet pulls that blade up flush with this center piece here. And you get one for each side. And then it's gonna hold it right where it's supposed to be. So you use you put it on there with the blades before you take them out so that you're putting them back in the same place. Now, it's not super critical that they go exactly back in the same place or at the same depth or height lifted as they were before, because it's just you'll just adjust your head to whatever thickness you need to cut. And obviously you don't want them sticking up a bunch, but what you do have to have is they have to be parallel, the same on each side, and then also each blade has to be the same. So that's the key, and that's what you really that's why you really kind of need, I mean, you don't need it, I guess. You can do it with feeler gauges or something, but this makes it a lot easier. So you can get those on. I got these ones off Amazon. They make different sizes for what size cutting head you have, so you just have to check that and see. All right, so I've got that holding everything in place now. So now I'm going to, oops, move the whole thing. Now I'm gonna tighten these up. Oh, that wrench, there's the right one. This way. So what that does is I'm backing the screw out now, so it's tightening up against the blade and pinching it in there. Just want to make sure I got this centered. The head, or that stay. Centered on the head. And the blade is centered in there as well. Okay. Go ahead and just get it going here. Okay, let me go ahead and tighten this up and then I'll come back to finish up. Okay, so here we are. Just finished up tightening these 4 bolts here, and then you just pull the jig off of each side because I couldn't get to the end bolts with these in the way, and then just tighten that last one. I already tightened these up, but just make sure they're all nice and tight. And you can see now we have a very nice, even, nice, clean, sharp blade in there. Much better than the one that was. I need to tighten that back up after I'm done, but here's another one. Nice and even. All the way around. Right there. So that's it. That's all there is to it. It's really not that difficult. Get the right tools. Recommend getting these for sure. It helps a ton. I've only ever done it with these, so couldn't tell you how it is without them. And you can see if your blades ever get to looking like that, you need to do this. All right, hope this helps. Thanks.